Well, hello again, my lovelies. This is the intro. As you might have guessed from the thumbnail and the title of this video, we're going to be making corn chips from corn. I've seen a lot of other ones telling you how to make it from tortillas, which is pretty much just cut them up and stick them in the oven. Lame. And others that tell you how to do it from cornmeal. But this one's going to be directly from corn. Right, well, we're going to be using 6 ingredients in total for this, and 3 of them you're definitely going to have at home. First one, salt. Second, pepper. Doesn't matter if it's cracked pepper or the already ground stuff, you're just doing it for taste. Next up, oil. The 3 common ingredients that you should have. The main ingredient, corn. I couldn't find any actual limes. They're only just coming into season in New Zealand, so I'm doing with lime juice. That's ingredient number 5. And ingredient number 6, I'm going to be using some chilies, just for a bit of extra zoom. So you're going to have to, first of all, peel the corn, like so. I'll peel those in half a second. Takes 2 hands, so off camera, of course. And now with the corn all peeled, it's time to actually slice all the kernels off. Yep, that was about as good as you can do with one hand. I've got to go off camera for this. So yeah, this is what it probably should approximately look like. You have the main core of the corn, which I've just taken all the kernels off, and then the pile of actual corn kernels. And with all those corn cobs chopped up, added into the blender, I'm going to add all the rest of the ingredients. I decided to only drop it down to 1 chili because I thought 2 chilies would probably overpower it a bit, and well, all those chilies will be now for making chili chips. I've got like another pound of chilies, so you know. Alright, so I've added about a tablespoon and a half of oil. They'll just help it congeal together, blend into a pulp a bit easier. Alright, chop the chili up into, a bunch of bits. Hopefully you can see that, but yeah, chili's chopped up, time to add that. I'm going to need to wash my hands after this. Pretty much don't touch anything else. So yeah, I realised adding the cracked pepper, we need to spin the thing and do it with one hand. You can't really do that on camera. So just adding probably about a heaped teaspoon of pepper. Going to do the same for the salt, maybe a bit more. About a dessert spoon of salt, and then lime juice. Gonna add 1.5 tablespoons, I reckon. Yep, it's all just pouring off the edges, so you kind of have to guesstimate it. So now, with all the ingredients added, yeah, you just got to blend it up, get into a more fine pulp. This will probably take a couple of minutes to actually do, so I'll get back to you in a moment. Yeah, that probably actually took about half a minute to a minute, not a couple of minutes. So you have it still a tiny bit chunky, if you can see, but that's a good texture. Now you can smell that lime and chili. That's real nice. Alright, and now we've got baking trays lined with a bit of baking paper. Anyway, you want to spread out a even layer onto each. Alright, now with them pretty well spread out, the next trick is to just sort of carve lines in it, really. The reason I'm carving lines is to actually give it shape, to be actual corn chips later on for when you finish baking them. Otherwise it's just going to be one sort of big solid blob of corn. Alright. Anyway, the final step for these is to put it into an oven on a very low heat, low being about 120 Celsius, which should be in Fahrenheit 248. Yeah, you want to recheck on them every sort of 10-15 minutes, I guess, just to see how much longer it probably will need. Alright, next up, I'm going to pretty much do the exact same, but with chilies. Pretty much just replace the corn with chilies and maybe not quite so much oil, but definitely double, maybe even triple the lime, and maybe a little bit more salt. And yeah, this is like half a kilo of chilies. So yeah, this has had probably about an hour so far in the mini oven. Still a bit plump, so to speak, not quite dried out properly. I'll have to have a bit more, but you just got to be real careful because the thin parts around here, yeah, that's like already dried out past maximum. So really what you need to do is spread it to an even consistency, which is very hard to do. Anyway, it does taste real yum, so I'll leave it at that.